Long ago, a baby abandoned in the deep mountains was discovered by a mother tiger. Instead of harming her, the tiger gently carried her back to the den, licking her cheeks dry and raising her alongside her own cubs. As the baby grew, living among tigers, her body became stronger than an ordinary human, and her movements as agile as a tiger's. She could not speak, but communicated with animals through low growls and body language. The forest was her home, and her family was the mother tiger and other wild creatures. However, as the mother tiger grew old and passed away, she lost her closest companion and lived alone in the forest from then on. Over time, she physically aged into a wild woman in her 40s or 50s, yet due to her lifelong solitude, her mind remained as innocent and curious as a child's. One summer afternoon, a group of children from the village ran into the forest to play. They laughed, shouted, and chased butterflies and small animals, their lively voices catching the wild woman's attention. When the children first saw her, they were frightened by her appearance. Her skin had faint tiger-like markings, and she emitted low growls, yet her eyes were filled with warmth and gentleness. Awkwardly, she approached them, attempting to express goodwill through body language, offering them a ripe wild fruit. At first, the children were scared, but a brave girl named Xiaohua accepted the fruit and smiled. Seeing this, the other children slowly approached and tried talking to her, though she could only respond with growls and gestures. From that day on, their fear of the tiger ant turned into curiosity and affection. They began sneaking into the forest to play with her. Over the following year, the children and tiger ant formed a deep friendship. They taught her simple games like hide-and-seek and hopscotch, while she, in turn, led them to explore the wonders of the forest. She guided them up trees to pick fruit, showing them with hand gestures which ones were edible and which were poisonous. She taught them how to recognize animal sounds and movements, to avoid getting lost in the forest. Whenever the children tried to pick beautiful flowers or disturb bird nests, Tiger Ant would shake her head and gently return the flowers or eggs, teaching them to respect nature through her actions. The children gradually realized that beneath her monstrous appearance lay a kind and gentle heart. They brought her small trinkets from the village, such as colorful dolls or stuffed animals, and in return, she gifted them handmade toys woven from leaves and branches. Months later, she and the children built a simple wooden hut in the forest, a secret hideout where they shared their happiest moments. However, their friendship was not accepted by the adults. The villagers noticed the children frequently entering the forest and, fearing for their safety, began questioning them. When the children spoke of Tiger Ant, the villagers only focused on words like striped skin and growling voice, convinced that she must be a monster that would eat children. Overcome with fear, they decided to eliminate the threat. Some extreme villagers even suggested setting the forest on fire to ensure she would never harm anyone. The children overheard their plan and were overcome with fear and sadness. They knew Tiger Ant was not a monster, but a kind friend. They tried to convince the adults, but no one believed them. Determined to protect her, they decided to warn Tiger Ant and help her escape. That night, they quietly snuck out of the village and into the dark forest. Unbeknownst to them, the villagers had already set fire to the forest's edge. By the time they found Tiger Ant, the flames had spread rapidly, surrounding them with thick smoke and fire. Panicked, the children couldn't find a way out. Seeing the children trapped in the fire, Tiger Ant sprang into action with courage and strength. She carried the youngest child on her back and led the others through the smoke and flames. With each child she saved, her burns grew worse. When the villagers arrived, they witnessed Tiger Ant risking her life to protect the children. After ensuring the last child had escaped, she suddenly turned back and ran into the burning wooden hut. The children screamed for her, but the fire was too intense for them to approach. The hut was soon engulfed in flames. When the fire was finally extinguished, the villagers found Tiger Ant curled up on the ground, no longer breathing. As they stepped closer, they saw she had shielded with her body the dolls and toys the children had given her. Overwhelmed with guilt and regret, the villagers realized the real monster had never been Tiger Ant, it had been their prejudice and fear. To honor her, they buried her at the forest's edge and engraved her tombstone with the words, "Tiger Ant, guardian of the children. From then on, the children frequently visited her shrine, bringing dolls and toys as a tribute to their most special friend.